There's a lot of people in all of our lives that are altruistic. They really care about the next generation. What are we living for here? It's the kids, man. Like, what are we doing?
I think it's so cool how one person can have a slight shift on the trajectory of your life by saying, "Hey, Adam, listen, bud, you've actually got some leadership potential here and qualities that you need to up your game, buddy." And who knows if he didn't have that discussion with you, where you would be in a way.
No, you're exactly right. His name was Larry Atkins, great volunteer, civic minded person. And that was a turning point for me. And yeah, people can influence you profoundly. And I'm sure he wouldn't remember the conversation. He was having these conversations all the time with boys in the scout troop. And it's something, though, that when I coach, I have an internship program in the summer. I mentor a lot of young people, particularly young men. I think I just have a more to offer maybe. And I'm mindful of that. It's you can just influence someone profoundly with the right kind of interaction, and you can really demoralize someone with the wrong interaction. You have to be careful.
It's great that you're just aware of this. This is once again, you've experienced it. So now the guys that you're helping, you just, okay, cool. I'm totally in tune here. I know that I've got to be careful with what I say because it can be life changing for these guys. So I actually think you wrote about Larry the other day on Twitter. The name I don't know, it's familiar for some reason. You wrote about him maybe.
Unfortunately, he just passed away, and I saw his obituary, and he's one of those people that, yeah, I'm sure I've written about him and mentioned him. And what was really amazing about him was he didn't even have a son in the scout troop. He had a daughter. He was just a person that really wanted to give back. And there's a lot of people like that in all of our lives that they're altruistic, right? They really care about the next generation after them. And I always say the world belongs to the young, right? Like I'm 50 years old, so I don't consider myself old, but I'm not a young person. And I've had these amazing experiences in life. I've been fortunate beyond all measure. But eventually, like we have to say we are dedicated to this next generation. And it's a little bit of a bummer when I see older people that still behave, I think, in kind of selfish ways. Because it's like, what are we living for here? It's the kids, man. Like that, what are we doing?
What do you consider like in selfish ways?
So I think successful people, especially, right? I'm too busy to help. If someone tries to reach out to them, I'm not going to take your call. I'm too important for you. I don't want to be bothered with this. And this is a different thing. I don't necessarily know that it's selfish. Maybe it is. I'm also seeing people who are against families and kids. If not overtly hostile, there's this message that's being out there that, like, for the good of the planet, we shouldn't have kids, or you should focus on you, and kids are a distraction, or they're too expensive. I'm hearing that a lot. And that to me is a very corrosive idea because we're well below replacement level of population in the United States, in Germany, in Japan, in China. It's happening globally, all the developed countries. And a population crash isn't pretty, but I also think just saying that there's something wrong with having a family, or you're hurting the planet by having kids, or I don't know. This is an extreme version of what I consider this kind of selfish ideology, where it's, hey, we were given all of these benefits of growing up in a prosperous economy, and we had a great education system, and we had people that were willing and generous with their time and money and making opportunities. And it is incumbent on us to do the same. And if we start withdrawing and saying, oh, I'm not interested in kids. I don't like kids. I don't want to help kids. Okay, here's another stupid thing. When I was a kid, if you were walking down the sidewalk and school was on, you would get hassled by every adult, right? Like, why aren't you in school? What's up? Now people are like, it's not my business. And that's not good as a society, in my opinion.